The rich get richer as the Georgia Bulldogs, who won the 2021 national championship just 2 days ago over Alabama, adds another big-time weapon, picking up another tight end commitment in the 2023 class, four-star Lawson, Luckie, a UGA legacy, one of the top tight end prospects in the state of Georgia for the 23 class, jumps on board, commits to Todd Hartley and the Georgia Bulldogs. Right now, they're tight end U. We know that they have the best tight end in America on campus for another 2 years in Brock Bowers. Oscar Delp, y'all know all about him. Another pass-catching, big-time athlete at tight end. They signed in the 21 class. They got Pierce Spurlin, who dominated this past fall as a junior down at in Florida. One of the best pass catchers across the country for any wide receiver or tight end in the 23 class. He's on board, and now Lawson, Luckie. Todd Hartley is about to get himself a big-time raise, and he's got summers off. He's got his two tight end on board already in the 23 class. He can sit back, kind of relax for a little bit. But as it relates to Lawson, he is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the state. There's no doubt about that. But he can run 6'3", 225, great after the catch. He's a tough physical blocker on the edge, but is another guy who can spread out, throw the ball too. He can go up and get the ball in jump ball situations. Great around in the red zone, around the goal line. He's a guy who just makes plays. And again, at Georgia, if you want a tight end, you go all across the country. You don't have to be from West Forsyth High School where Oscar is, or from Norcross where Lawson Luckie's from. I mean, they went out and got Darnell Washington from Las Vegas, Brock Bowers from Napa, California, Brett Seether from Florida. So they go all across to get their guys, and this says how much they like about Lawson Luckie, that he is just down the road, Bulldog legacy. He's got size, and he can run, and he can catch. So we're seeing more and more of these types of players emerge, and Georgia's getting their fair share of them. So we're seeing them play more tight ends, 2 tight end, 3 tight end sets. So with them just taking Oscar himself in the 21 class, you knew they were going to try to take 2 in the 23 class, and these 2 were Todd Hartley's biggest targets. When he finds his guys, he goes out and he gets them. I can't remember the last time Todd Hartley missed on, a guy that he really, really wanted. He locked in on Oscar early on and was able to get him very early in the process, a lot earlier than people thought. And with Lawson, he was getting offers here and there, but I was told that Georgia was always going to be the team that was going to be tough to beat for him. And 2 days after a national championship, he decided to jump on board, commit to the G, and I don't think he's going to be the last guy to commit to Georgia anytime, soon, I guess. I kind of misspoke there. But there's going to be lots of guys wanting to jump on board. There's no doubt about that. If you think it was easy for Kirby Smart and this staff to sign a top 3, top 2 recruiting class, sometimes a top 1, recruiting class the last 5-6 years, it's going to be even easier now when they can go into living rooms and say, hey, we've been talking about national championships and building towards that the past few years. Now we've got one. We can do it. We're a team on the rise. Tim Tebow called them a sleeping giant. Now that they've got one, this really could be a domino effect, and recruits are seeing that. A lot of recruits saw it happening years ago, jumped on board and made it happen. Now with this 23 class moving forward, these guys are looking at Georgia saying, hey, we can win here. They are winning. This is the gold standard, the golden era of Georgia football going on right now. And when you beat a team like Alabama, I know we've talked about this a lot, winning the national championship was a giant hump off their back, but doing it against a team like Alabama, definitely for recruits and their families, makes them believe, hey, not only did they win the whole thing, but they're beating Alabama now. They are the number 1 team in the country. And as good as Alabama is going to be next year, Georgia's going to be, in a really good spot as well, too. They're not going away. They're going to be here for a while. And every year we see Georgia turn away prospects, at the last minute. That's recruiting. That's what it does. Every team has to do it. They've got to make tough changes on who they want in these classes. And it's going to be another great one in 23. I think they have 9 commitments already on board, some really big-time players. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to tell some kids, hey, we don't have room for you. We're sorry. We'd love to take you, but, we're taking our number 1 and our number 2 guys. There are no plan Cs. There are no plan Ds for Georgia moving forward because guys want to play for them. It doesn't take a lot to convince a guy to go to Georgia, if that makes sense. So any in-state kid that Georgia wants right now, especially after winning a national championship, they're probably going to get, and it's not going to take a whole lot to convince them to come to Georgia. It's very easy to convince these kids to jump on board now, especially with this championship. And with, top targets from Georgia. The staff's not going to let them look elsewhere very long. They're going to get these guys on board, and it's easy to see. So, a lot of kids have offers from Georgia, from the staff saying, hey, we'd love you to jump on board, this and that. We're going to keep recruiting you, but there's only a select few that really do have a spot at the end. And, we see it all the time when kids jump on early. There's no downside to it, really. And then if they don't feel the love from the staff, they have to decommit later in the process. And we see it happen every year. But Lawson, Luckie, UGA legacy, I'd be very surprised if you were to look anywhere else at any point in his recruitment. Georgia went after him. Todd Harley went after him. And Todd gets his guy. And I've talked about it for a long time now. When he gets his eyes on someone, he's going to get him. There's a reason he's at Georgia. It wouldn't surprise me if he took another job down the road, something serious, but more serious than the tight ends coach, which is very important. He also helps with the special teams. But Lawson, Luckie, big-time pickup, one of the top players, tight ends in the state of Georgia for the 23 class. They are absolutely on a roll on the recruiting trail and have been for a while now. So all good things coming out of Athens. They won the national championship against Alabama, first one in 41 years. I know Georgia fans are still celebrating. I haven't been home long. This was a big-time adventure for us, driving through a snowstorm to get up there, driving all day yesterday to get back. But we do it for y'all. We really appreciate y'all watching. And it's been a very good year, and we appreciate every single one of you. We hope that y'all are enjoying this content as much as we are delivering it to you. And of course, now my eyes turn to the 23 class. I love covering the team. It's one of the best parts of my job for sure, but I also love covering recruiting. So if y'all have any questions about the 23 class, who's on the commit list now, who could be on it soon, what could this class look like, who are their top targets, make sure you're on Dog Post. You can drop me a message, a post there at any time during the day, and I will do my best to get right back to you. I love this stuff. I can't wait to cover this 23 class with y'all, and I hope you're watching along, for the ride this year as I try to dig into that more. So another big-time tight end prospect on the commit list in the 23 class, Lawson, Luckie, 6'3", 225-pounder, can really catch the ball, can go up and snag it. A good blocker, runs a good route for someone his size. He's great after the catch, does a lot of things well, and there's a reason that he was being recruited by Georgia. It's because he's a really good player. So another one on the board. Georgia's looking great at tight end. They're tight end university right now, and it only got better. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on the website.